Hello everyone, this is your host Vaibhav. I am the trader and investor with more than 10 years of experience. I have been following the market developments since my college days, and as we conduct this stream for the quarterly earnings of the BlackRock, I am having the flashback of my starting days because now as we speak, as we look at this earnings report of the BlackRock, which is a asset management company, and it is no ordinary asset management company. It is the largest AMU for the world with more than $10 trillion under its management. So even in my starting days, I used to think that I will start my own AMU. That is yet to materialize. It might happen in coming years, but with this backstory, we are going to consider this asset management business and how the investment world works. This is a challenging field and a very demanding one. You have to be on your toes. You have to keep your memory and the reasons sharp. You have to conduct the critical analysis day in, day out to figure out the opportunities to trade and invest, and that is what the BlackRock has been doing for numerous investors, and it has been quite successful. It has earned the faith of millions of investors across the world, and that has resulted in it becoming this behemoth of the investment world, the largest AMU in the world. And if you see this homepage of the BlackRock, it has listed the challenges in the current business environment, how the newer challenges have emerged over last 1 year in the face of higher inflation and the policy tightening it has entailed. Even though the inflation has started to show the signs of cooling off, I feel the environment is still quite challenging. There are many risks which are there and which we need to tackle to be successful in this challenging environment. So we are going to now consider the fundamentals and the technicals which are driving the BlackRock and its earnings. Let us go to its quarterly earnings, which were released just a couple of days back. And these are the quarterly earnings for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2023. We have these highlights of the company and how it has been performing for last couple of quarters. The last quarter was quite good for the BlackRock, in which it successfully managed the portfolio. And by successfully, I mean it was able to generate phenomenal returns, not only in last quarter but for year as a whole. But this can also be considered as an exceptional year. Not every year you get this kind of returns, and particularly in last 2 months, the market have been rallying, and that has helped BlackRock grow its assets and post substantial increase in its portfolio. If we look at the highlights of the last quarter, there was a 7% increase in year-on-year basis in the EPS, while there is 2% decline in the operating income. The revenues were not much changed, particularly for the negative impact of markets on the average AMU, and it was offset by higher technology services revenue. So overall, there is not much of a change on that count. We go to its consolidated statement of income. All right. Now, if we look at the revenues and from where the BlackRock is earning its revenues. The key generator of money for the BlackRock are its investment advisory, administration, and securities lending department. Then comes investment advisory and also the technology services and distribution fees are there, but those are minor revenue sources. So the total revenues stood at US $4.6 billion, and of it, if we can deduct the US $3 billion expenses, the operating income stood at US $1.585 billion, and of it, the taxes were paid and there were adjustments for the interest and dividend. So, taken together, the net income for the firm stood at US $1.375 billion, which is increase of 116 billion over the same quarter of fiscal year 2020 second. So year on year there is almost 10 percentage point growth in the net income of the BlackRock. But if we consider its performance quarter on quarter, then for the quarter there was decline as its revenues have declined from the prior quarter's revenues net income of US $1.604. So this is a mixed picture, and this is part of the business cycle. Not in every quarter you will see growth in the income and the revenues, but the trajectory of the income has been higher for last almost 8 to 10 quarters, adjusting for the business cycles and some challenging quarters here and there. So those bumps was are going to be always part of the journey, but overall the growth trajectory is upward, and that is something which we have to be considering when we are thinking about the investment in the shares of the BlackRock, or if you are willing to trust the BlackRock's asset management, then you can even hand over your money to them for a fee for portfolio management. So both options are open. You can invest in the BlackRock share on your own, or you can simply go and purchase their investment plans and enjoy the services offered by the firm. And I feel on both count, you can rely on the BlackRock and its stock to deliver good results, because if we consider the trajectory and the growth paradigm, the possibilities are indeed favorable for the long trade and investment in the BlackRock. So, if we consider these financial earnings, there is a promising story unfolding out there, and because of this, I feel confident enough to give you a suggestion for these trade and investment opportunity. But where to trade, what are the price levels to consider, and what and when we should go and pull the trigger. I think for that we always have to rely on the technical side of the story. We have to see how the share price has performed over last couple of hours, couple of days, couple of weeks, and couple of months to be able to position ourselves for the trade in a low risk environment. So now I turn my gaze to the technical side and we go to the JForex platform, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA, in which I have plotted these BlackRock shares in a hourly candle period. And if you consider the trajectory of the BlackRock share price, you will see that since the first week of December, it started to rise, and then there was this sharp jump from 760, 750 to 810, that is 10% growth in the share price in a single session. But after that, it started to simply go sideways and kept consolidating for the remaining part of last month. And after the new year started, it seems to have peaked, and it declined and then again went sideways. And after the results were announced, it has seen this dip from around 800 levels to now around 770, 780 price zone. And in the near term, the outlook seems to have taken a bearish turn. And from short term perspective, we will have to take a cautionary stance here and keep looking for the opportunities. But right now, it is not really providing much clarity on either side. It is not convincingly bullish, nor it is convincingly bearish. So it is kind of caught in between these two price areas, and I feel if it continues to consolidate without rising beyond 800 in next couple of sessions, maybe a day or two will suffice, then we can indeed think about short selling it, provided it keeps forming lower lows, and if it visits sub 760 levels again, then we will have more reasons to believe in this turn of event in which it has started making lower lows and lower highs after having rallied earlier. And if that happens, then I think it will be better to change our stance in the short term as well, from bullish to bearish. So for us, the opportunity in it might come, but as I said earlier, we will have to wait for a session or two for further clarity to emerge. Till then, we can consider the formation from daily time frame perspective for medium term time horizon. And in medium term, we have already seen this strong rally from around 600 to 800, and there is ongoing consolidation happening now. And if we consider these time frame formation, it is of course bullish, and that is the undertone for the Blackstone, BlackRock. But whether you would like to invest now after it has already rallied strongly over last couple of months, and it is simply going sideways on these elevated levels. So instead of going for the newer trade now, I would advise you to take it easy, allow it to consolidate for a couple of hours, and sorry, couple of weeks. And if it doesn't really break towards 700 price zone, I think we can go for the long trade, provided it keeps making higher highs for next couple of weeks. So in that scenario, we will have further confidence in the ability of the BlackRock to continue rising and provide us with opportunities to trade and invest. So it shouldn't decline much. It simply needs to consolidate in this narrow price range with undertone being bullish, and we can then take our chances and expect it to climb past immediate resistance of around 820, and move towards 850 and even beyond that price area. So we will be willing to wait and see as and when the opportunities arise, we can jump in. From the longer term perspective, the formation is of higher highs and higher lows, and that means it is also conducive for the investment from the longer term perspective. But whether the right time is now, that is another story, because it has already strongly rallied over 30% in last couple of months. And if it will be able to generate similar kind of returns, particularly in face of its long consolidation for last many months, more than a year now, it has been consolidating in this range. So I feel that is going to be a brave decision to take if you want to go for newer trade investment in the BlackRock share at the current levels, because if it doesn't really go anywhere and continues to consolidate, then we will be losing money. So I feel that here also the undertone is bullish, it is in bullish phase, but the time is not now to make newer investment in the BlackRock shares. Maybe if it doesn't really decline much and respects this 600 odd level in coming weeks, coming months, we can indeed go for the newer trading opportunities. So that's all from my side for today's session on daily stock, where we consider the financial earnings of the BlackRock Inc., the largest asset management company for the world with more than $10 billion in asset management. Now it's time for me to sign off. If you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback, and please do subscribe and like the stream, as it gives me purpose to conduct more streams and bring to you the highlights of the quarterly earnings of these financial and tech giants. Now, I'm signing off for the day. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.